come on in and join us.
We have an Ozzy Osbourne tribute soap today from Hoffman's Grooming.
It's a Halloween morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you too. And for our mention today, y'all, if you are fans of Dr. Squatch and those bars of soap that he offers, you might want to take a look at the ones that they have at Hoffman's Grooming. I find these to be far superior and a way better value, way better sense. They're the Hoffman's favorites, and these are milled perfectly to not stay too hard and never get too soft in your shower. I love these things. Have you tried these in the shower?
I have. I think I always forget how good the scent intensity is on these. They last so long. Like, I'll forget and I'll walk even to the bathroom and I get a whiff and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the bar that's in there.
That's it. And what's our soap today?
We have Crazy Train, which is a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. Let's meet it.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at hoffmansgrooming.com.
On July 22nd, 2025, we lost a legend in the rock world. This is our tribute to you, brother. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne, 1979 to 2025.
And y'all, if you have to go out, Ozzy did it right. Did you see that giant party they had a week and a half before he had to leave? He was singing. He was dancing with Sharon. The kids were there. His daughter got engaged. I mean, we should all be so lucky. And how cool that Hoff has immortalized him in a soap homage. Let's take it out of the box. All right, y'all, this is how they come from the Hoff. Oh, I forgot, we always get Swedish fish from Hoffman's Grooming. There might even be a soap that smells a little like Swedish fish from Hoffman's Grooming. And we've got a packing slip. Oh, and a note! Hey, congrats on your wedding from Hoff. Hey, thanks, buddy. Oh, and there it is. Doesn't that look like that train is coming at us from the bottom of the box?
Those neons are fabulous.
Colors, that purple. Y'all love these labels at Hoffman's Grooming. And you know what else I love in Hoffman's Grooming? First impressions. Let's have one. All right, y'all, we took a look at the set notes, and we don't think this is an homage to any famous EDP or anything. We think this is an original creation, and we are so excited. Why don't you have your first impression? See what you got.
Let's see. Ooh, it's snug on there.
I love how they changed to the black tubs.
There may be some vanilla in here, y'all.
Right, look at that. Beautiful. All right, take it in, y'all. One of the most trusty bases in the wet shaving world. I love my Hoffman shaves. All right, here we go. Oh, she rotated the tub. Did you see that?
Sometimes it helps. Okay, I do feel like this could have a fun Ozzy vibe to it. Like, it's its own scent, which I feel like that's him as a character too. But there's parts of it that are familiar, but as soon as my brain tries to find what it is, then it swoops out and goes somewhere new. So what the vision I kind of got was like, it's more woodsy, and it has like a natural spice with it, but it's almost like the wood has been turned into more of a sweeter side. Like, it's a lot more gentle and welcoming, and there's like an herby, almost approaching aftershave thing in there, but not quite. Like, again, it starts to get a little sweeter on me. So I don't want to say it's anything in the aftershave zone,
right, but
I'm trying to figure out how to put it into words. I'm going to settle with more a sweet wood, maybe.
Right.
I totally get a visualization of like something in like the shadows or darker. Like there it does. I don't want to say gothic necessarily, but it kind of has a little of like a fougere gothic-y kind of a vibe, but it's sweet. So I'm getting the darker sides, but then where sometimes people put florals next to it, this has got to have like a sweeter herb that's just helping tweak how you're kind of trying to file this.
Well, Ozzy and Gothic kind of go hand in hand, right? Makes perfect sense to me.
But also approachable. Like, I do love that we got to watch him. Was it MTV that had the TV show?
Oh, I was getting to that. We'll get to that in a minute. That helped raise me. That should explain a lot.
But he was super funny and sarcastic in ways that you just didn't expect. I love that it has like multiple sides to this whiff. Every time I think I got it, it changes.
Every time I think of Ozzy, I think of his music, but I think of him going, Sharon, I want a burrito.
There is something that smells like a super aged, really refined, like deep cologne or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I'm in a room, there's lots of textures, there's velvets, there's layers of things happening. So I'm really glad that we got this during fall kind of Halloween vibes. But there is something dapper about this in a way that's very cool too. I don't think we have the exact scent that's being used in here, but I think we've had things that tried to approach it using different stuff.
Right.
Like my brain is picturing like a cinnamon bark, like visually, but it's not a cinnamon scent. So whatever that spice is, maybe when we go back to the scent notes, it might be something similar in that lane, but I'm loving having this as a fall kind of thing. I really thought it was going to be way more masculine, like that I wouldn't jump in to use it, but from the whiffs of this, I would hang out with this crazy trick.
We went to the interwebs and we asked it, do any of these scent notes look like they're from a famous EDP? And it said, no, this is probably something Hoff came up with.
It almost has a little Fool's Mate or Resurrection-ish, like that kind of textured kind of sweetness in those.
Right.
So maybe it's more like the Hoffman kind of thumbprint, having some magic in here. Maybe it's an oudiness that's adding that really like fine cologne portion in here. I don't think it goes civet or animalic or anything in there, but it's something on a deeper lane, not like a soil like some of our other Halloween ones, but again, like I'm getting that darker color, but it has a fanciness in there that's turning it up.
No civet. Sorry, Sammy. Sammy lives at Larry's house unless we need him on the show. He has a nice civet run for him in the backyard.
I'm gonna say it's a fancy wood in there. Like it's got to be one that we don't always get, but my brain is picturing like the most fancy, like a throne chair that's super high. I don't know, that's what I'm getting. So there's something in here that's got to have a woodsy thing, but it's being mixed with things that are crazy.
All right, pass it over.
See what you get. I'm curious.
Crazy train and see what I can find. All right. Whoa!
See if you can find the words.
I was expecting a particular kind of doorman, and that's not what I got. Oh, this is wild. Hold on, let me get my first impression. Y'all. My brain went through my encyclopedia of all the aftershaves that we have in our collection and all the ones that we have dived deep into. I got a tiny touch of Irish mousse all the way under the surface, just speaking to a little bit of gothic moss to get you started and let you know the ground you're standing on. And then it takes off wildly from there. But if you are fans of that Irish mousse scent, or even what I think is a lateral move into the original Aqua Velva, that for me is the very beginning of this in subtle wisps. But then it builds a kingdom on top of that. Hold on. And then holy crap.
I know. Can you explain that part? Because that's where I was stuck.
I think I can. It's something that starts really herby and grassy, like almost like some of the prairie-esque soaps that we've covered. But then, right as your nose starts to get under the grassiness to try to find anything squinchy in those herbs where normally there would be, it undergoes this wild metamorphosis and it becomes creamy, almost to the point of lactonic. So not like sandalwood creamy, but like, well, whipped cream creamy is kind of what those turn into in the middle. Wow. It's the kind of magic trick that my nose goes, wait, do that again, do that again, do that again.
I think that was the sweet wood I was trying to figure out.
It almost gives the sense of a suede, but only like the candied part of a suede, if that makes sense. A far cry from leather, but that beautiful soft suedeness.
Yeah.
Oh, and then a smoke, to be sure. But it's almost like a charred rosewood kind of a smoke. I totally see where you're going with like an oud, but how am I supposed to say this delicately? It's the more expensive oud
there you go.
that I'm smelling. And it's rugged, but more in the way that like executives are rugged than it is like cowboys.
Yeah.
Or rock stars.
There you go.
That's what this is. How'd I miss that? This is Ozzy's leather jacket. This is Ozzy's... I'm getting it. I'm getting it, Hoff. This is the green room at the theater. This is the cologne he's wearing. This is Ozzy's last ride. This was that night that he had, that perfect night where he danced and sang. Oh, y'all. And look, I spend most of my life draped in Pixar sweatshirts. I am not generally defined by the word rugged. And yet, this is exactly the kind of scent I would put on if I wanted to transform myself from like Disneyland tourist Marcus into like business person Marcus, where I would have to go into a studio and sign legal paperwork. This is the smell of confidence. Oh, it's beautiful. And I love that, at least according to the sales page and according to all of our research, this isn't a dupe.
Yeah.
Hoff created this. Okay, you know what my brain just showed me? It's almost like if you were on a crazy train that had no engineer, he fell off, and you were just at the mercy of wherever these tracks were going to take you. But you're not scared because it's the Disneyland ride version of that. But it's so real that all of your senses tell you that you're on a real crazy train. That's what this is. Well, and I think there's a corollary to that too, because Ozzy would do some crazy stuff on stage, but then you saw him with his family eating burritos.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And having like honest moments about growing up with his kids. Like, you know, like they were real dad moments too.
Loving his wife, loving his kids, being a real family. This was kind of his night job, right?
I loved having all of their accents though. That was the coolest thing to me too, to just jump into their house and listen.
Well, seeing that those kids were my age and saying the things they were saying, you would have been slaughtered outright if you had said some of those words.
I was not allowed to watch that at home.
Oh my. Well, y'all, before this leaves the rails any further, why don't you come along with us? We're going to build a lather and re-look at those scent notes. All right, y'all, from the sales page at hoffmansgrooming.com, we start with our scent note list of
guaiac wood. So it is a different wood that we don't always get.
Right, in fact, guaiac wood. Complex and smoky wood with a balsamic sweetness compared to notes of tea rose, vanilla, or a crackling fireplace. Boy, does that nail that.
Yeah.
That's exactly the wood that this starts with, and it's prominent in the middle. That's probably its spine.
Right, and I get the spicy and I get the smoky kind of part that you were talking about, but it does have that sweet herby thing coming through too.
And sometimes when I think I'm about to smell a real woody soap, it's not. The wood is hiding in the background, or the cedar's been made way too pretty or something like that. Y'all, rest assured, I think this is guaiac wood centered.
I'm glad we looked that up. Okay.
I am too. And then we swing headlong into some citrus with
lemon.
Are you
interesting.
kidding me? How is that being used in here? I would not have called that.
It's hard to find, y'all, but it might just be keeping it from getting too dark. Like, I wonder if the other things would have pulled it down a little bit more. Somehow it's just keeping it clean.
I think it's a lemon blossom. I don't think you're getting anything tart in this. I'm not finding anything like muddled. I am getting a subtle sweetness of a lemon flower.
Next, we have coriander. There is a spice in here, so it must have been that.
And what a dapper spice. Great for the nose, great for the palate.
It adds just a little masculine vibe to it too. But then that jumps right into moss. You were right.
I'm not saying I was entirely right about this, but I did say Irish moose at the beginning. That's where it starts. But that's what's beautiful, is as soon as you jump on the train, it's gone. It just gives you that lovely gothic cast at the beginning. And then patchouli, of course, but it's how it's being used. It is not the dark, dank San Francisco State patchouli on the quad. Trust me, that was used to cover a sin. This is beautiful, light, herby patchouli, white patchouli, I think sometimes they call it.
Again, just kind of adding a little bit of that, like, almost an end of an aftershave vibe to it. Something that's adding a cleanliness at the end.
And sometimes when you have something that's beautifully clean, you have to have something a little dirty for it to stand on. You know, banana for scale. And then this one, I think, is the mystery in this. Balsam. A beautiful, almost evergreeny scent. And I am getting it, but I'm getting it as a base note. I'm almost getting it as like the sap of the balsam as a fixative in the scent.
Seeing that there's only 6 listed, my brain took the magic that's happening between the 6 of these scent notes to at least be like 15 or 20. So maybe you only need the 6 to create this magic, but there is magic happening between how all of these are interacting that it really creates a much more complex scent than you're expecting.
Just because you have 6 notes doesn't mean they go well together.
But these ones do.
Right. That's why even AI, when it tries to make colognes and perfumes, still needs a human perfumer there to be like, are you nuts on that? I just decided to go shave of the day picture and try to match
Hey, there you
my
go.
bowl with my soap. This should be a little purple.
Yeah.
But this is my KUN Dark Nebula's bowl with the loving octopus arms in there. And my mountain hairbrush, a gift from Jeremy Fletcher at the beginning of our journey. All right, our waxing sticks from Amazon.com are going to be used to scoop a little of this into the bowl. Oh, nice and soft.
It is so.
All right, y'all. So our first goal at the Barbershop Duet is not to actually start building bubbles. It's to move this soap from the bottom of the bowl onto the bristles of that brush. So I'm going to make a really thin plane of the soap here in the bowl. The bigger, the better. Looks like that. Actually, sometimes she shaves in the bath. I shave at the sink. And we compare notes. And actually, we've kind of decided recently that the aster blades are not all that we kind of thought they were. We've had some rather rough shaves out of those big aster blades. Have they changed production? Anybody know? Put them in the comments, would you? And then once it's all loaded onto the bristles of the brush, I kind of slowly start adding water into the equation and build out that lather in earnest. Look at that. No froths, no foams, just a beautiful lather. And y'all, I've said this from the beginning. This Hoffman lather is one of my favorites. I often use it when I'm trying out new blades or razors because I know exactly what to expect from the formula, and it is trusty.
I'm almost getting like an anisey whiff coming off of here.
Nice. About every 30 seconds, turn the brush, give those bristles a new orientation to attack the soap with. Y'all, I know we never talk about lather here at the Barbershop Duet, but it feels like I'm getting ready to throw a pie. And this is something you will only find here at the Barbershop Duet. This is the Pennsylvania 6 5000 whip. On 3, 1, 2. Oh, you know, it's a little sweeter here in the concentrate. Here, a lovely masculine cast. It still keeps some of its sweetness.
Yeah, not as much though.
How this balances out.
I actually got more of the moss and the lemon action coming out here.
The lemon, right? That's what I'm getting more with the water.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And y'all, way more of that leather suede sense is coming out in this balance. Beautiful.
Which is funny because that is not in the set notes, but both you and I got that like texture of fancy furniture and things going on.
Y'all, this is all coming together to create a beautiful leather hit in the background. If you know, put in the comments. And y'all, we love watching our lathered Yeti videos, but we don't do shaving here on the Barbershop Duet. We realize you might like to see what this lather looks like when it coats and covers a moneymaker. Y'all, it went on in layers. That's right.
Right.
Oh, y'all, are you kidding me? Beautiful. You know?
Super padded.
I love that hit of what I think is Irish mousse way under the surface of this. It's almost like it's a time-traveling experiment that connects you with Ozzy's very first aftershave.
There you go.
And his very last.
Yeah, I'm getting much more of the green, kind of a little patchouli, a little moss. There are other things in here that are adding a fun, more masculine side to this.
Right. And I love the width and breadth of what Hoffman offers. If you want something deeply rich and masculine, he's got you covered here. And then, hey, last ringmaster.
There you go.
Little kettle corn fun. Why not?
Yeah.
Red Hollow. That gorgeous gourmandy apple praline sugar. Y'all.
I think I do have to say my all-time favorite fall scent is still Evil Pumpkin.
Y'all. Which has had a sequel, Fougere, come out that we have not tried yet. Evil Pumpkin, I think, is just about the best cinnamon in the business.
I'm so glad we got the EDP because I have no regrets.
She wears it a lot. What would happen if we layered Evil Pumpkin with Fire and Brimstone?
I may have tried that, and it definitely works.
All right, yo, why don't we take this crazy train down to the last stop and go a little deeper? There are 3 iconic moments for me growing up of discovering television. One was Channel 9, that had Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, that saw me well into single digits. But after that, the 2 things that I remember watching on TV that I knew were going to change the game was South Park in its first season and, sort of a lateral move, this new reality series called The Osbournes, which was the beginning of all kinds of things. You didn't even have that kind of show before The Osbournes. You certainly didn't have that kind of profanity before The Osbournes. But what it was really the first time that an iconic family opened their doors and just allowed you to come in and sort of see, well, a version of what they lived like.
Right.
It was like being a guest in their house, and not the fancy kind that could only use the seashell soap in the bathroom. You were like a family member at their dining room table. And I remember waiting for the next episode of the Osbournes to drop. Very few things made me laugh harder. And like you were mentioning, it was funny to see Ozzy just be a family man and a dad for a while.
Well, you just kind of knew somehow it could not be scripted. He was so himself that that's what made you feel like you were literally in their home. Like some of the other ones that are like this, you can tell they like kind of angled the camera and got everything scripted and maybe redid things. But on this, you couldn't have Ozzy redo it. Like that was him.
Some of that was just unrepeatable.
I wonder if there's a way to re-access and watch that show again, because it'd be interesting to see it now as an adult versus, when I was little.
I have the DVDs.
Wow, DVDs, thank God.
Priorities. I don't think I own Citizen Kane, but I got the first 3 seasons of the Osbournes.
There you go. That's why I married him.
The other thing I'm reminded of as I'm sitting here remorseful that we did not get the splash of the
Me
EDP
too.
are that Hoff occasionally has crazy sales, crazy Eddie sales on his site. And every once in a while, he'll do a deal on 2 EDPs for one incredible price. Keep an eye on the Hoff sales pages. Also, footnote, there was a separate Crazy Train scent that didn't set up as well in the soap. So Hoff completely shelved it and remade us brand new ones with a brand new scent. However, those are or were still available from the site. So if you go to pick one up, know that there is or was a second Crazy Train. This is the label that you're looking for this particular one.
The other one has Black Ops in the description.
Right.
So that'll
It's a
help.
dupe.
That's not the one we have.
Right. Also, going forward, Hoff is no longer going to be doing pre-orders. He's just going to get the inventory and release it to us. So make sure you've got that page bookmarked.
Although we are kind of sad that we didn't get all of those fun Halloween ones. Those labels, my friends, just look way too exciting.
We might have to do Ichabod just as a Christmas
might.
episode because we love Sleepy Hollow around here. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Ozzy Osbourne, iconic rocker, at the end of his career and deep in his soul, maybe knowing somehow toward the end of his time. And he's going to put together one iconic evening where he's going to surprise everyone at the end of the night by standing up and projecting one of his iconic ballads to the sky. He's going to dance with his wife and see his daughter get engaged. We should all be so lucky to have an experience like that in our last couple weeks on this planet. Trust me, y'all, he got his own. So head over to hoffmansgrooming.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want right now. Well, I have taken my ride on the Crazy Train, and y'all, with the guaiac wood, the spices, the dapperness in here, but the chaos at the same time, a perfect Ozzy Osbourne homage and a beautiful, rich, deep, dark, masculine scent to make you feel like a rock star at places in your green room. Thank you, Hoff, for this. We're excited for our next one. Welcome to Messages.
So for our October giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Happy Chap Share.
So you can be happy too, and all you have to do is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first November episode to see if you are lucky Vina.
Best of luck.
What's Patty, you ask? Oh, this is the scent of the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's.
We can't use it. We have to save it because it says smells
Not
too
allowed
good.
to use it.
Nope.
Well, I didn't grab the shave soap.
He failed.
So we can't use it.
No.
And the last ringmaster, I swear you can smell the crunch on the kettle corn.
I always feel like I'm forgetting something when I don't have Lainey on my lap. But she sends her regards. She's taking a nap. She had a long day.
She's out back watching the bus.
They always had dogs at their house, too. On the Aussie show, didn't they always have little guys?
You are so right about that. I think they had a small one and then like a bigger one.
Yeah.
Hey, Hoff, thank you also for being one of the artisans that knows that when we do lose an iconic figure, they are deserving of an homaged shave soap. Hogan, Osbourne, Awesome.
It is nice, after having someone that's been in people's lives with their music and their artistry for so many decades, to know that they inspire other artists to create more artistry to kind of keep that going in its own way.
Well, isn't that how art works, or at least how it's supposed to work?
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more musical just watching this.